Good luck to both of you.
I think it's safe to assume that Marquice Weston might literally be the biggest threat, standing an imposing 6'7" to the undefeated record of Sonny Bleep McEwen. Weston comes in 8 consecutive victories. McEwen 9 consecutive victories, 9-0 undefeated. Main event underway at the Battle of the Rising Stars.
Let's see if McEwen can get on the inside of Weston here. He's got to break down that range of the jab to get to the inside where he can create havoc.
Certainly poses a challenge for McEwen. McEwen coming off of a round 2 knockout victory over the experienced Demetrius Banks Commerce Casino right here in this building back in July.
You see Weston establishing that reach, using that long jab to keep McEwen on the end of his punches. Oh, big right hand left combination from McEwen. Turns the chin of Weston.
McEwen can dim your lights in a hurry. Now, Weston only one defeat, and it was not by way of knockout. This guy's never been finished. And really does need to utilize that jab and that reach, though, as McEwen continues to try and get inside.
Yeah, but you got to utilize that jab in a way where it's not lacy. You don't want to throw it out there and enable McEwen to counter, as you've seen happen early in this first round.
Both fighters with their host of knockout victories. Weston 8 to his credit to the 5 of the undefeated McEwen. Swinging, man. Damn near has to leave his feet like Little Mac to get up there to go upstairs.
You know, this is very reminiscent of the Mike Tyson fight against, brain lapse here, forgetting his name, but the taller fighter, his chin is exposed to McEwen. And if McEwen can break down that jab, get on the inside and touch that chin, it could be an early night for Sonny McEwen.
Well, honestly, the vast number of fighters that took on Iron Mike Tyson had the height advantage, but he knew how to cut him down to size, as does McEwen.
See McEwen utilizing his patience here, trying to stay composed as he tries to break down that range. You see him try to get inside, and when he does, he tries to let his hands go.
Laying all that body weight on him there is Weston. This one's scheduled for 8 rounds of action, light heavyweight division, and a division that McEwen has owned here at All-Star Boxing.
30 seconds left to go in the first round here. Let's see if Sonny can get his hands go. Let his hands go and start to create a little bit of a mess here. Weston doing a good job of staying composed and working behind that jab so far.
Yeah, and he's that size has enabled him to stop Bleep McEwen from really enjoying a long-lasting advantage or flurry. Some shots now by Weston late as the first round comes to a close. And, for McEwen, there's going to be a bit of a feeling out process because he's got a big riddle in his way to try and solve.
Yeah, he's got a 6'7" opponent who's got a lot of range. He's got to break down that range to get in the inside where he can create havoc and start landing some of his punches at his own. If he stays on the outside, he's going to have a real hard time establishing that jab, especially with the longer opponent.
All right, now we go to you and defer to you on your unofficial scorecard. Your thoughts after one.
McEwen, 1 round to none. I had him landing the more powerful shots early in that first round, and I think that was enough to sway the judges' scorecard.
Yeah, got to agree with you there. 1 round in the books, but they got 7 to work here in the light heavyweight division as we take a look into the corner of Marquice Weston. Again, comes in with an impressive record, 15-1. 1 loss by majority decision against the undefeated Bleep McEwen out of the red corner. Round 2, off and running here at All-Star Boxing.
See Weston immediately going back to that jab to try to establish his range to keep McEwen at the end of his punches. McEwen's going to have to break down that stick, that jab of Weston if he wants to get where he can start plying his craft and start making this fight sway towards his direction.
Yep, tries to find that door to enter and tries to oftentimes with that 1-2 combination, but again, tough, and you don't want to charge in and be on the wrong end of a big shot by Weston.
You see how Weston paws the jab. He's not just pawing, but he's hiding behind it. So he does a great job of preventing his opponent to land anything because that jab creates space for him. So he's utilizing that jab to try to get on the inside and prevent his opponent from landing. Good job by Sonny McEwen so far, utilizing that shorter of the two jabs.
Yeah, shorter by a mile, nearly. And but yeah, to your point, I mean, ironically, McEwen may be utilizing the jab more effectively than the rangy opponent. You can hear the crowd come to life there after that exchange. This, our main event, scheduled for 8 rounds of action. The second round of action between these two. And I'll tell you, in the clinch, Weston really loves to just drag that body weight on top of him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of controlling the fight on the inside when Weston does break down the range. McEwen ties him up as he does right there. And again, putting that body weight heavy on the back of McEwen.
I can start you in the later rounds. And as I think Weston is playing more the long game between these two.
Yeah, he's not landing anything significant from the outside. The only one that seems to be landing significant shots is Sonny McEwen. Fighting in a phone booth here.
Yeah, this ain't picking up in a hurry. Little dirty boxing, the two separate.
I'd like to see Sonny let his hands go and start throwing with some power here.
Well, ask him, you just might receive.
You know, he's felt his opponent's strength, and he knows that he can break down that range. Let's see if he can start throwing some hands with significance to try to put this fight away.
Yeah, but just tying up with this guy is, you know, it's going to deplete the gas tank over the course of the fight for McEwen. He's got to stay out of that clinch. 2 rounds in the books now, and more of the same here in round 2.
Yeah, you know, Sonny definitely landed the bigger shots in that round. That's why I give him the second round. 2 rounds to none on my scorecard for Bleep McEwen.
So according to my colleague, McEwen, perhaps well on his way to remaining undefeated, adding a 10th victory, but not if the always dangerous Marquice Weston has anything to say about it. Who's been biding his time has Weston thus far. And we will be heading into the 3rd of 8 scheduled rounds. And, you know, Weston staying fairly cool, calm, and collected in there thus far.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we're witnessing right now is the evolution of Bleep McEwen. You know, from a brawler, he's turned himself into a boxer, and that's the evolution that we're seeing tonight against Marquice Weston.
And you got to think that McEwen, and again, you don't want to sit there and grapple with this guy, but McEwen very comfortable here at Commerce Casino. 5 of his 9 wins happened right here in this building, and this thing, as you've talked about before, we might see the brawler of McEwen come back to light here.
Oh, nice right hand left combination has Weston in trouble here. When McEwen gets on the inside, he certainly does make a mess, Todd.
Yeah, he does. And Weston's got to be careful not to get caught with something big during one of those skirmishes on the inside. Because,
especially on the exit, as you saw right there.
That height advantage will get taken away real quick if he ends up horizontal.
You know, the height advantage brings an issue that is a problem for the longer opponent, the taller opponent. Your chin's exposed. And if Sonny McEwen can land on the chin of Marquice Weston, it could be a very early night.
Well, he's starting to find that target a little bit more frequently now as this fight wears on. And McEwen has shown some pretty great patience thus far, but that might get thrown out the window if he starts connecting.
This is where Sonny McEwen wants the fight to be, on the inside of Marquice Weston. The referee calling the stoppage here. I don't know what happened. Mouthpiece came out.
Yep. I got to wonder if that is the result of that mouth getting a little bit open there by Weston as this fight wears on.
Very often you hear me talking, making the analogy about racehorses chomping at the bit. The opposite of chomping at the bit is a fighter that spits the bit, or a horse that spits the bit.
Uh-oh, look out here. McEwen is a lumberjack, and he's trying to chop this big tree down.
He's doing a good job of it so far here in that third round. Deep breath from Sonny McEwen as he resets here.
What a great onslaught that was moments ago by McEwen. Now hits the reset button momentarily. And it really has been all McEwen in this round.
Yeah, he's certainly got the power advantage. He's landing the bigger shots. And, Marquice Weston's going to have to start throwing punches if he wants to win this fight.
He starts. And the hands are low, but the final seconds of the round ticking away. Will Weston survive?
Yes, he will.
Those big long legs getting a little wobbly, but will live to fight on for at least another round.
McEwen having the best round of the fight so far. I have him dominating that round, winning 10-9. Excellent round for Sonny Bleep McEwen.
Exciting stuff in the process as the undefeated McEwen had the big guy rocking and reeling a little bit there late. We'll see if McEwen can keep that momentum going, if he can keep the pedal to the metal, so to speak. But if you are Marquice Weston, what can you do to build your way back into this fight?
Well, if you look at his face right there, Todd, I'm not trying to get inside the head of the fighter, but at least the litmus test tells me he's not believing in himself. He's got to believe in himself. He's got to establish that jab and start throwing something in power to keep Sonny McEwen on his heels. You can't just throw the jab.
Yeah, and if not, McEwen's confidence is only going to be on the rise, and he's going to be a serious headhunter out there.
There in the history of boxing, you got guys like Larry Holmes who are able to knock a fighter out with the jab. But, Marquice Weston doesn't seem to have that power, at least in the one. And that's the only punch he seems to be landing is that long jab. He's not following up with the cross. And believe it or not, Sonny McEwen's timing that jab perfectly to counter.
McEwen trying to keep that momentum going that he really most notably built up there in that third round. And pretty much has to throw everything at Weston.
Nice right hand over the top for McEwen on the exit.
Now turnabout's fair play. Out of the clinch, it's McEwen that's making Weston pay the price and carry that additional body weight around.
Sonny's throwing everything heavy here. He's got to start setting those big shots up. Don't want to empty the tank on a guy like Weston.
Well, and that's a great point. If he keeps throwing these heavy bombs, does McEwen risk punching himself out?
He certainly does in an 8-round fight, Todd. But Weston's got to do something to establish himself. Right now, the only fighter that's establishing his power and his will is Sonny McEwen. Nice right hand over the top from McEwen. Little dirty boxing here.
Trying to punch off the exit there was Weston. But as you touched on moments ago, that big overhand right, more effective there by McEwen. Inside a minute to go now in round 4. These big light heavyweights battling here in the main event. That's what it's all about. McEwen backs him up yet again.
Nice left hook there for Sonny McEwen.
Boy, you can just sense the anticipation in the crowd. They've seen McEwen in many a battle. This is 6 right here in Commerce Casino. They want to see him finish the deal.
Oh, he's on his feet here.
Weston in
Little bit
trouble.
of a dance. Right hand over the top. McEwen starting to slow. He's down.
Down to a knee. Will Weston get back to his feet? Or is that big tree falling for the last time? He's back to his feet. Will the referee allow him to continue?
Jack Reese allowing the fight to continue as the round ends.
Wow.
I thought that might have been it, Todd.
Wow. McEwen chopping away at that big tree. Weston drops to a knee. Time ticks away in the round, and certainly to the benefit of Weston because he was in trouble.
Yeah, the speed and precision of Sonny McEwen is actually absolutely taking Marquice Weston out of this fight. It's going to be it, Todd. Sonny Bleep McEwen with another TKO victory.
Weston can't answer the bell for the following round. McEwen improves to a perfect 10-0 and adds a 6th victory by knockout and adds a 6th victory right here in Commerce Casino.
Definitely a hometown win for Sonny McEwen.
McEwen found himself in there with a unique challenge just physically with Marquice Weston, who came in with an impressive record with 8 knockout victories in his own right, but he didn't have an answer for the power of McEwen.
No, he certainly didn't. He tried to establish the range with that jab, but, he didn't add anything to it, Todd. He didn't throw the cross. He didn't throw the hook. It just seemed to peck and paw with that jab, and it was just a matter of time for Sonny McEwen to time that, which is exactly what he did in counter.
Let's head back inside the squared circle and make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round number 4, referee in charge, Jack Reese, stops the contest on advice from the physician ringside. Our winner, by way of knockout, he is still undefeated, Sonny Bleep McEwen!
Sportsmanship being shown here. McEwen had a very unique challenge in front of him and a challenge that he answered with flying colors. James Toney in there. Great respecting. Great. Your thoughts on our main event?
Unbelievable job by Sonny McEwen. He had a tall test in front of him, a guy that established his height and his range, and McEwen did a great job of